Hey Giants fans, what's up Big Blue Nation? If you're as fired up as I am about the New York Giants heading into the 2025 season, then buckle up because we got some massive New York Giants news that's shaking things up in East Rutherford. The team just dropped their captain announcements, and let me tell you, there are a couple of shocking omissions that have everyone in Giants Nation buzzing with questions and theories. Picture this. It's the final stretch before Week 1, and the locker room votes are in for who will lead the charge this year. But hold on, two of our biggest stars are missing from that elite list. We're talking about the kind of snubs that make you wonder what's brewing behind the scenes. Is it a sign of shifting dynamics, or just players stepping up in unexpected ways? Stick around as we break it all down. Plus dive into roster shakeups, injury updates, and a sneak peek at our opener against the Commanders that could set the tone for a playoff push. As passionate Giants fans, we live for these moments, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. Remember those glory days with Eli Manning hoisting Lombardi trophies? That's the legacy we're chasing, and news like this captain's reveal reminds us how every detail counts in building a championship squad. So let's get into it. Who made the cut, who didn't, and what it means for our beloved New York Giants. What do you think, Giants faithful? Are these choices going to rally the troops or spark some locker room drama? Drop your takes in the comments below. Let's make this conversation as epic as a game-winning drive at MetLife Stadium. The New York Giants announced their 5 team captains for the 2025 season, and it's a mix of veterans and newcomers ready to lead Big Blue into battle. Defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence, the powerhouse who's been a heart of our defense, gets the nod again after captaining last year. He's racked up 12 sacks over the past 2 seasons and is often called the face of the franchise for good reason. Then there's quarterback Russell Wilson, our big offseason acquisition, stepping in as a leader right out of the gate despite being new to the team. With his Super Bowl experience and over 43,000 career passing yards, it's no shock the players see him as a guiding force. Linebacker Brian Burns, in his second year with us after that blockbuster trade, brings that edge-rushing fire with 8.5 sacks last season, proving he's not just a playmaker, but a motivator too. Bobby Okereke, the quarterback of the defense, returns as captain, justifying his spot with 149 tackles in 2024 and his vocal presence in the huddle. Wide receiver Darius Slayton, entering his 7th year, rounds out the group. He's a reliable vet with over 3,000 career receiving yards and that clutch gene we love. These guys were voted in by their peers, ranking teammates from 1 to 5, showing true collective buy-in rather than coach picks. It's inspiring to see this blend of defense-heavy leadership with offensive sparks, but it also highlights how our D-line and linebackers are the backbone right now. Yet, as exciting as these selections are, they raise eyebrows about team dynamics. Lawrence and Okereke being the only holdovers from last year's captains feels like continuity on defense. But Wilson's quick ascension as a newcomer? That speaks to his instant respect in the room, even if it feels a bit off for a guy who's only been here a few months. Burns and Okereke embody the defensive swagger we've been building, while Slayton's longevity makes him a steady voice. But is this the right balance for a team aiming to flip the script after a tough 2024? Giants fans, does this captain's list fire you up for the season ahead? Or are you questioning if we need more offensive representation to truly gel? Imagine the energy if this group leads us to a deep playoff run. Let's hear your predictions in the comments. Now, let's talk about those 2 shocking omissions that have Giants Nation in a frenzy. Offensive tackle Andrew Thomas and wide receiver Malik Neighbors aren't on the captain's list, and it's got us all scratching our heads. Thomas, our rock-solid left tackle who started every game he's been healthy for since 2020, was actually a captain in 2024, protecting the blind side with Pro Bowl-level play and allowing just 4 sacks last year. To see him left off after being a building block on an offensive line that's make or break for our success? It's bizarre, especially since the O-line could dictate whether we contend or collapse this season. Has something shifted in how teammates view his leadership, or have others just edged him out? Then there's Neighbors, our explosive rookie sensation from 2024 who burst onto the scene with 1,100 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns, making him one of the best first-year receivers in Giants history. As the primary target in this offense, everything flows through him. Yet Slayton got the nod over him? Slayton's a vet, sure, with his 50-catch consistency, but Neighbors' star power and potential to be a top 10 NFL receiver in 2025 scream leadership material. Production doesn't always equal captaincy, but rallying around a young gun like him could ignite the whole team. These snubs aren't red flags for locker room issues. Captain votes are just one piece of the puzzle, and the Giants have emphasized collective decision-making. Still, it's odd not having our best offensive lineman and top weapon repping the squad, especially when Thomas's reliability and Neighbors' electricity are keys to success. Maybe it's a motivator for them to prove doubters wrong, turning omission into domination on the field. What do you make of these omissions? Big Blue, could this light a fire under Thomas and Neighbors? Or does it hint at deeper team vibes? Share your thoughts. Let's debate if this is a non-issue or something to watch as the season kicks off. Diving deeper into what these captain choices mean for the New York Giants 2025 campaign. It's clear defense is the identity right now, with 4 of the 5 captains hailing from that side of the ball. Lawrence's dominance, think 90 tackles and all-pro nods, makes him the unquestioned alpha, while Burns and Okarique bring that linebacker tenacity that's turned our front 7 into a force. Wilson's inclusion adds quarterback gravitas, but with only one pure offensive captain in Slayton, are we risking an imbalance? Last season, our defense ranked top 10 in sacks with 47, but often struggled, scoring under 20 points per game. Having more old leaders might bridge that gap. Imagine the storylines unfolding. Wilson, fresh from his Broncos stint, steps up as captain and leads a resurgent passing attack, throwing for over 4,000 yards like in his Seattle prime. But without Thomas captaining the line, who anchors that unit amid injuries that plagued us last year, Neighbors' snub could fuel a breakout where he eclipses 1,500 yards, proving leadership through plays. These dynamics could either unify the team or expose cracks if early games go south. Coach Brian Dable, who's emphasized player-led accountability since taking over, announced the captains with pride, noting the vote reflects true peer respect. It's not hand-picked. It's democracy in action, which bodes well for buy-in. Yet, as Giants fans know from our Super Bowl runs, leadership shines in adversity. Will this group guide us through the NFC's grind? Giants Nation, how do you see this impacting our playoff chances? With a tough schedule ahead, does this captain setup give you confidence? Hit the comments with your hot takes. Shifting gears in our New York Giants news roundup. The roster cuts have been brutal, and one that stings is waiving fan favorite quarterback Tommy DeVito, the local hero who captured hearts in 2023 with his underdog story. DeVito, with his 1,101 passing yards and 8 TDs in limited action, brought that jersey swagger. But with Wilson locked in as starter and backup solidified, he didn't make the 53-man cut. It's tough saying goodbye to Tommy Cutlets, especially after his cult following, but this move signals the Giants' focus on depth elsewhere. Even more surprising, releasing undrafted rookie defensive tackle Elijah Chapman, who turned heads in preseason with 2 sacks and relentless motor, earning praise as a potential steal. Chapman was a bright spot in camp, disrupting plays like a vet, but the numbers game meant tough choices. Our D-line is stacked with Lawrence leading the charge. These cuts whittled the roster down to 53, but they highlight the depth we're building for a grinded-out season. On the flip side, the Giants smartly claimed safety Bo Braid off waivers from the Ravens and cornerback Rico Payton from the Saints, bolstering our secondary with young talent. Braid, a second-year pro with speed and instincts, could add versatility after our pass defense allowed 24 TDs last year. Payton brings athleticism to a corner group needing competition. Smart pickups that could pay dividends if injuries hit. Giants Nation, if this got you pumped, smash that like button, drop a comment with your bold predictions, subscribe for more updates, and share with every Big Blue fan you know. Let's make 2025 legendary. Go Giants!